Today is a WAFF 48 First Alert Weather Day. Sponsored by Mr. Electric, your area expert for home Generac generators.
No storms here in our area, but intense heat over the next few days starting today.
Yes, and no rain in sight for us either.
No rain, and I feel like we've talked about that all summer. If it's not the heat and humidity, we are dodging strong to severe storms. No severe storms. We cannot escape the heat and humidity, though. Potentially dangerous. This will start to wear on you. Your air conditioning will be running full steam ahead for the next several days. First alert weather days all the way through Friday. The heat index each afternoon will be over 100 degrees. Some days it could even be pushing 110 or more. Out in the plains over the weekend, some places in Kansas were reporting a feels like temperature over 130 degrees. That is incredible. They had dew points in the mid 80s out there in Kansas. We'll have a very high dew point, not necessarily mid 80s. We go out to the Parkway, fly breeze camera here, 71 degrees. You will notice that it feels a touch more humid than what we had over the past several days. Yesterday was kind of that transition day. Felt the humidity inching up into the afternoon. The feels like temperature was right around 100 degrees. Fog is not a huge widespread concern this morning. We've got some pockets of fog, low-lying areas, some of those bodies of water, sheltered valleys too. Heat advisory in effect for Franklin, Colbert, Lauderdale County. This kicks in at 1 o'clock this afternoon and goes until 8 p.m. Now, just because you're not under a heat advisory doesn't mean it's not going to be a hot and humid day at your location in your backyard. So Megan Plaka this morning, she said, hey, why not start drinking some water now? That's great advice. Maybe a cup or two less of coffee. I know it's a Monday. Hard enough to get out of bed and convince yourself to go to work and school anyways, but now we've got to do it, and then we've got to deal with this heat too. But air conditioning, if it runs out at your house, or goes out, I should say, and make sure you're at least running a fan. You have to circulate that air, and also know that there's free places you can find air conditioning. A mall, you could go walk around, the libraries, great library system across the Tennessee Valley too. But looking at this extreme heat starting to settle in here, especially as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it just continues to get worse and worse. So each day will likely have at least a heat advisory, if not an excessive heat warning. This goes all the way through Friday, even Saturday now. It does look like we'll have a cold front coming in at some point over next weekend. Timing is still a little bit uncertain, but that will break our stretch of hot and humid weather. We've got a couple systems we're watching. We've got 3 named tropical storms, Emily, Gert, and Franklin. Most of those will just kind of swing out to the northeast as they weaken. 70% chance of development over the next 2 days and several days, according to the Hurricane Center, and this wave coming off kind of on the heels of Emily there. So the Atlantic has been quiet. Obviously, that graphic alone telling a different story, plus Hurricane Hillary we had with the big impacts for the desert southwest parts of California. For the kids heading to school, temps are in the 70s, mid 90s, and out the door forecast light, loose fitting clothing. Wear a wide brim hat if you can, because it's going to be very hot and humid. Heat index today probably about 105 to 108. And first alert weather days all the way through Friday. Next best chance of any rain or storms, that will be over the weekend.
This is your first